be left holding the smoking gun? Will it be someone in the Cincinnati field office, someone in the national office in D.C., or someone even higher, perhaps? IRS leaders will be facing tough questions from two House committees this week. Tomorrow, they'll face the Ways and Means Committee. The top Republican on that committee lobbed this shot yesterday.
This is a problem that was coordinated in all likelihood right out of Washington headquarters, and we're getting to proving it.
But before the IRS faces the Ways and Means Committee, they have to face the House Appropriations Committee later today. We're joined this morning by Congressman Kevin Yoder of Kansas, who was on that committee. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Let's start with ICE's comments. Now, he said Washington played an active role in this, and he didn't really specify whether he's talking about the national office, the National FBI office, or perhaps this leads all the way up to the White House. What do you read into his comments that he made?
Well, we don't know. We have more questions than we have answers right now. And what we do know is that this was certainly coordinated at some level. We don't know how high it went, but we do know there was an abuse of power here, that Americans were targeted for additional audits, additional scrutiny based upon their ideology, and we don't believe a couple of rogue agents in a Cincinnati office dreamt this up. We really think that this is a systematic problem at the IRS and that we're going to have to clean house. And so part of our investigation is to learn who knew what and when they knew it.
Right. Now, Democrats are saying there's been no proof whatsoever that this goes any higher than the Cincinnati field offices, but you say there is proof, and you guys are going to unveil that proof?
Well, no. The more we learn from our investigations, and we just investigating by interviewing IRS agents, they are saying that they were ordered to do this. Someone in Washington told them to do this. They are not saying we just dreamt this up on our own. And so, you know, I'm not going to pass judgment certainly until I have all the facts. And so right now what we're doing is we're conducting an investigation, and today I'll have a chance to continue that investigation in the Appropriations Committee.
Now, last year in that same committee, you had the opportunity to question then Commissioner Douglas Shulman, and he flat out told you guys there's nothing to this. And since then, we've learned that that is not true. So what do you make of his comments back then?
Well, I think we were certainly misled. I asked the commissioner, we're hearing reports that groups are being targeted based on ideology. What do you know about this? Could this be happening? He assured our committee on the record, not only is it not happening, it couldn't happen. And he actually invoked Nixon and said after Richard Nixon, we put in safeguards so this could never happen again. We now know that wasn't true. It was happening at that time. And so the question is, what did the commissioners know, and why weren't they stopping it? They found out sometime after that. They never came back to our committee and corrected the record. So we feel very misled. So you have several layers here. What was going on, and then who knew about it, and what did they do to stop it? And then, frankly, going forward, what are we going to do to clean house? This is an agency that is plagued with all sorts of issues now. We're learning more about conferences and those sorts of things that are adding fuel to the fire.
I was just going to ask you that real quickly. We're hearing reports this morning they spent up to $50 million on conferences over a 3-year period. So I guess just another black eye for the IRS and more questions that you'll be asking them today.
We're going to be asking about that. And I think what it shows is that we have a culture of abuse of power at the IRS. We certainly know they're targeting groups for extra audit, using that power, abusing that power. And we now know spending $50 million on conferences, staying in presidential suites. We think this is an agency that we just want to know how far this cancer spreads and who's going to take accountability for it. And if there were laws broken, certainly there's, as I said, more questions than answers right now. But today, this afternoon in Washington, I'll have a chance to continue to try to get to the bottom of it.
Hopefully we'll get some answers today. Congressman Yoder, thank you for your time. I know you're flying out this afternoon. Natalie.
All right, thank you, Dave.